Hi, I'm Jaclyn MacLeod, and today I want to talk to you about using Google Apps for Education to flip a classroom. In a flipped classroom, the bulk of the instruction or content delivery is done at home. Students are asked to watch videos or work through work packages at home to receive content. Class time is usually reserved for working through problems and collaborating with peers. In the classroom, students are building on the knowledge that they gained at home before coming to class. While they were not the first to flip a classroom, Jonathan Bergman and Aaron Sams, two high school chemistry teachers, popularized the concept of flipped classroom in the mid-2000s. They were looking for a way to allow students who are absent in class to catch up without having to reteach the lesson. So they recorded their lessons and posted them online. Then absent students could watch the lesson to gather the content. Interesting enough, they found that even students who were present in class were making use of the online videos. Students seemed to rather collect the information of the lesson at home at their own pace. They realized that they were most needed in the classroom when students needed individual help and not necessarily when they were receiving content. Students were already living in a digital world with cell phones and social media and YouTube. They felt that flipping their classroom just brought learning to the students' world. One advantage of a flipped classroom is that instructors can meet the varied needs of their students through differentiation. Because less class time is spent delivering content and speaking at students, more time can be dedicated to active learning activities. For example, student group work, classroom discussions, problem solving, and one-on-one and small group instruction. Instructors have the opportunity to circulate around the room while students are working and meet with them on individual or small group basis. Small group instruction allows students to receive more of the instructor's focused attention and also have more opportunity to ask questions and receive clarification about the learning. Small group instruction is also linked to increased confidence in academic ability and a more positive attitude towards the subject matter. As an unexpected bonus, Bergman and Sams found they had fewer classroom management issues. Because they spent less time standing in front of the students talking at them when students were more likely to be disruptive, they found that students spent their class time working through activities and the amount of disruptions were reduced. Research also finds that parental involvement in student education is fostered in a flipped classroom. A study on parental involvement in a flipped classroom showed that 14 out of 16 parents watch the videos themselves. Because parents know what students are learning and how they're behaving during instructional time, the home becomes an important part of the learning environment. When a student is struggling, it is then up to the parent and teacher to work together to diagnose the problem and come up with a solution. While there are many benefits to a flipped classroom, it has its challenges as well. A flipped classroom requires that students have access to technology at home. This is not often the case. A study by Statistics Canada showed that only 94% of Canadian households were connected to the internet. This problem worsens in low-income areas. In 2014, only 62% of low-income families had access to the internet at home. In addition, students are asked to complete tasks at home on their own time. Students who lack motivation will not often complete these tasks. If students are not completing the prerequisite activities, they will struggle to take part in the classroom activities. Instructors then have to spend class time either reviewing the topics supposed to be covered in the pre-class material or coming up with other solutions on how to get the unmotivated students caught up. Once you have considered the benefits and the challenges, if you still decide to continue with a flipped classroom, you need the right tools to do so. Google Apps for Education has been known to be used as a learning management system by instructors. Google Apps for Education has a number of collaborative learning features. And some reported benefits of GAFE as a learning management system include a high level of security for personal data, automatic saving of all work across all features, fast and easy collaboration tools, user friendliness, little time spent on IT management, and because Google offers these features free of charge, a reduction in cost. So what are some different ways instructors can use Google Apps for Education in a flipped classroom? Google Drive can be used to create shared folders where teachers and students can upload files. Google Sites can be used to create a website where information can be shared, including videos, Google Docs, calendars, and other things. A Google Calendar can be created to help students keep track of which tasks have to be completed by when. And a Google Classroom can be used as a dashboard where all information can be housed and students can create comments and ask questions when they're unsure. Google Apps for Education can also be used to create instructional materials. Google Docs is a word processing document that is highly collaborative. Google Forms allows for the creation of forms, worksheets, tests, quizzes, assignments, and has some really neat features to allow for testing and automatic creation and feedback. Google Slides creates presentations that can be shared online or shown in class. And a neat add-on that Google created for Google Slides is called Pear Deck, where students can interactively work with the Google Slides presentation on their mobile device. While Google Apps for Education does not bridge the digital divide, it does help slightly on accessibility. GAFE is available to all Nova Scotia students and teachers and is accessible on all devices. Students can access Google Apps for Education at a local internet access point, for example, at their school library or local library, on their cell phone at an establishment that offers free Wi-Fi, or on school tablets or computers. Google Apps also includes features that help with student accountability. For example, students can comment on posts in Google Classroom by writing reflections, or they can create a Google Form worksheet based on a video they just watched. Teachers can reach out to students who do not seem to be keeping up with their homework to give them a nudge in the right direction. Google Apps for Education also helps reduce teacher workload. Google Apps for Education is user-friendly, requires very little maintenance, and the features work together in perfect cohesion. So if a resource is created, for example, on Google Docs or Google Slides, it can be added to Classroom or Google Sites with little more than a click of a button. While Google has assured users that all information is kept safe and secure, there are security concerns when working with Google Apps for Education. Teachers, administrators, parents, and students have all expressed concerns over the fact that student information has been given to a company that makes a great deal of its money through mining of user data. After conducting my research, I've come to the following conclusions. A flipped classroom model is a constructivist learning model that places more emphasis on building on concepts through activity and collaboration than on content delivery. More time is spent by the instructor in facilitating and supporting students as they practice knowledge. Less time is spent talking at students who may or may not be engaged. Google Apps for Education can aid in a flipped classroom model because it gives us the ability to organize, share, and collaborate on a whole new level. It also helps ease some of the challenges of developing a flipped classroom. I want to thank you for taking the time to view my presentation.